Hello. Uh, Today, I'm gonna be doing something a little different. I have here a Genesis of a Music by Harry Partch. Just gonna read it. Won't that be fun? I don't know. Just want to do something right now. I might also do some ear training after this. But yeah. Uh, Genesis of a Music by Harry Partch. An account of Genesis of Music, an account of a creative work, its roots and its fulfillments. Harry Partch, second edition. Should I read the preface to the second edition? Okay, whatever. I'll read the preface. Preface to the second edition. Here, I'll angle it down so you can see the book. Slightly more than 25 years ago, in the spring of 1947, I put the final word to the draft of Genesis of Music. However, during the intervening years that I have produced, the major proportion of my works in both music and theater, quintupling probably my output of 1930 to 1947. In that time, I have also built or adapted 22 medium to very large new instruments and many smaller ones. Only 6 large instruments were depicted and explained in the 1947 work. This second edition contains limited new material, a new preface, and new chapters 12 and 13 on instruments notation are obviously necessary. An added chapter 14 provides the background for 6 major works. As addenda, there are listings of music performances, phonographic records, films, notes on major theater works, a bibliography, and a chronology of the building of my instruments. This is a long preface. Oh my god, I'm not even gonna get through the preface. I'm like, I don't, this is a very dense read. There are a lot of words on the page. We'll see how far I get. Maybe I could skip past the preface. If this gets. Then there's another preface. That's the author's preface. So there's the preface to the second edition, and then the author's preface. It's gonna take 26 pages, or wait, no, 20 pages just to get just to get to the start of the book. I'll keep reading. Uh, in the earlier preface, uh, one paragraph calls for clarification, and in chapter 1, an idea needs explanation, and omissions need to be recognized. The paragraph, the first full one on page. Why is it Roman numerals on page 18? Has given me considerable torment. It says briefly that with modern technology records the composer might with modern tech. Why is there a dash? With modern technology. Oh, it's like an M dash. Okay, with modern technology records, the composer might consider his work as a painter thinks of his, and that his paints and brushes, instruments, and notation may be discarded. They are no longer important. I had no real passion for the notion, for that notion, then, and I have none for it now. I have long believed in the corporeal, especially in my large theater works, where the musicians in a very real sense are also actors. Why then did I write such words? Very realistically, I did so because of the infinite difficulty in mounting a large theater work, or any large work, uh, or any large work. Uh, 45 to 50, reading aloud is tricky because you don't know exactly how the sentence, where the sentence is going to end. I don't know. This is a very non-normal thing for me to do. You might even say it's a little abnormal. Okay, I might only read the. I'm not even done with the first page. Okay. 45 to 50 years ago, I had not heard one ensemble play the music that I had written for it. And in a kind of desperation, I determined to write nothing that I could not project as actual sound. Even so, the long years of waiting until productions were possible seemed endless. 17 in the case of Oedipus. Beginning when I visited W.B. Yeats in Dublin in 1934 to show him my musical outline for his version of the ancient drama, and ending finally with the rehearsals at Mills College in 1951. Forgot how old this dude was. Wonder when this book was printed. I imagine it was printed recently. Does it have the old book smell? Honestly, I get no smell from this book, which is weird. Because usually you either get the like old book smell or the new book smell. It's just like smells like nothing. Okay. Because of my dedication to all that goes into theater, lights, cost that all because of my dedication to all that goes into theater, lights, costumes, dance, movement, the physical excitement of seeing the instruments played, uh, records, uh, records have been a rather sad compromise. Still, I must stand by the earlier preface, because the likelihood of solving the total theater problem seems today, if anything else, even more distant. Okay, the preface is 20 pages long, so I might just skip it and get to chapter 1. So let's see. Table of contents, chapter 1, from Emperor China to the Vacant Lot. Chapter 2, American Musical Tendencies. Part 2, an introduction to intonation. I might skip around depending on what seems interesting. This is just such a big book. I honestly didn't know how big it was going to be. I also have like some smaller books. There's also another book that I want to get. It's like by Kyle Gahn, or something like that. And Doman actually recommended that one. I mean, physical books are nice because you can just like take them anywhere, but I can't remember the last time I've read a physical book. And probably jumping back into this one is a bit intense. So yeah, this is one of the 3 books that I got for Christmas. The other 2 are. Should I dog ear this? Maybe I should do like a bookmark. Well, I haven't even like started the first chapter yet. I'll just note to start the first chapter. The other one. Are uh, are the Just Intonation Primer, by David B. Doty, and then Common Beyond, a progressive approach to Near Eastern music theory by Eric Ederer. Maybe I could read. This one seemed a lot more parsable. Uh, I mean, I'm already gonna know a lot of the things in this. There will be stuff that's gonna be new. Hey, would you look at that? Look at that. It's nice tone. No way. I love lattices. Oh, would you look at that? It's duodene. Oh, that's awesome. I know it says Genesis of my music. I guess. Okay. I could just like listen to this in audiobook form. I'm like, how can I get myself to actually read this book? Why don't I do it on stream? And then I remember like how painful it is to read stuff aloud. Okay. I guess I'll read Genesis of a Music. Alright. Chapter 1. From Emperor Chun to the Vacant Lot. Apologia. It would seem it would seem axiomatic that any music, whether it is that of a well-known writer, or of symphonies, or of that of an anonymous folk singer, reveals the philosophic attitude of its creator. It also seems self-evident that if his attitude is vigorous and individualistic, his practical requirements are not necessarily satisfied by the traditions that he was born to. They may even require direct antithesis. Simple repetition does not and cannot fulfill the creative urges of such a person. He is living. He is living his a new life, and though he is a generated bundle of physical and mental similarities to millions of other entities, he is still a new being. Neither physically nor mentally is he a simple repetition. All right. First paragraph conquered. All right. As a student, he may be well aware of the historic turning points of his art, but his creative processes do not evolve from a historical or intellectual gambit and end with an intellectual checkmate. For the sake of a scholastic controversy. His variation or his direct volte-face is arrived at by way of cumulative experience and groping, and the satisfaction is that of a creative experience, not of comparative situations. Nevertheless, he begins to develop a judicial attitude towards the things he was born to praise and to criticize, and judgment is imminent in his creative process, whether it is written, spoken, or only thought out in his mind. When this man cannot modify the ways that have been bequeathed to him so that they serve his philosophical concepts, has only one sure response: intuition. Or he has only one sure response: intuition, an awareness that gains its strength and direction from the specific knowledge, whimsy, motives, predilections, and so forth that are the sum of his ingredients, or that are his sum of ingredients. And he resorts, and when he resorts to words to plot his course, the ways of his intuition, he eventually finds that his exposition is compounded of his judgments, praise, and criticisms, a good measure of supporting arguments, and at least a few ventures into the history of mankind and of his art. I speak from my own mental experiences in breaking with the I speak for I speak for my own mental experiences in breaking with the accepted ways. Mine is a procedure more of antithesis than simple modification, and the statement of this fact is essential as a groundwork for the pages that follow. Further, it is chronologically correct. The break came first by intuition. The justification came second by critical and historical analysis. Sometime between 1923 and 1928, I became so dissatisfied with the body of knowledge and usages as ordinarily imparted in the teaching of music that I refused to accept or develop my own work in the basis of any part of it. With respect to current usage, this refusal was a rebellion. From the standpoint of my creative work, it was just the beginning of a new philosophy of music, intuitively arrived at. Just how old this new philosophy actually is has since been a continual revelation to me. The reasons for my dissatisfaction, mostly in short at the time, are revealed hereafter in connection with specific topics. At this point, I may merely mention how profoundly annoyed I became over with the widespread emphasis on skills at an instrument, emphasis on the technique of playing and composing music, both by authors of books and by teachers. All too rarely did I find consideration of intrinsic content by either author or teacher. Various degrees of intrinsic content were simply accepted, having long ago been determined for us. If a product was polished, either in performance or in technique of composition, ipso facto it was good. If an instrumentalist could manipulate the black and white digitals or other paraphernalia more dexterously than most other instrumentalists, he was ipso facto an artist. If he could interpret something within several centuries, if he could interpret something written several centuries ago in a way to please the cognoscenti, he was ipso facto a great artist, and became the recipient at every turn of expressions of homage. To any serious creative person, this is a fundamentally unwholesome situation. Not only has a re-examination of intrinsic value been rare, but never in my entire musical experience, with a single exception of my introductions to the writings of Spengler, have I encountered any discussion of the basic philosophic attitudes, values, or approaches of the music under consideration. Music is not causally related to historic movements, except by means of isolated sentimental legends. How Chopin's revolutionary etude was composed, for instance. One is told, when he points this out, that we are living in an age of specialization. What can the history of mankind, or his religions and social mores and philosophies, have to do with music in an age of uncorrelated vacuums? This is so dense. Yeah, it's very, I don't know how to describe it. This is definitely not an easy read. But Harry Partch does seem pretty awesome. Right now he's just like, it's hard to like focus on like making sure I'm reading all the words right and actually consuming them at the same time. But he's like saying I'm pretty sure his dissatisfaction for like the current kind of music education and what is it and like the what's the word? I'm literally forgetting the word. Like music academia and it's like praise of like I guess certain people and like what they look for and value in music. Yeah. Yeah, institution, that might have been the word I'm looking for. Uh yeah, it is quite the read. I just want to like skip ahead to the diagrams. Should just keep on reading. I wanna get I want to just like skip ahead to the Zen parts, to the microtonal parts. Here, let me find a diagram for you. Oh, this looks like it's like talking about like the wavelengths on the strings. Oh, this is something I think. Analysis of the 5 limit. Let's go. Maybe I should just like skip to this. I don't know if I need to read like it cover to cover. The start is very dense and kind of just serves as a preface to like how we. Okay. It's talking about Christianity here. I don't know. They seems like he's talking a lot about like philosophy and stuff like that in the first chapter. Okay, maybe we should skip to chapter 2, American musical tendencies. What is my tortoise doing right now? Hi. Oh, he's being adorable. Okay. I'll just skip ahead to chapter 2, because that's where it kind of starts to talk about more music. Chapter 2, American musical tendencies. The fundamental stimuli that are the reasons for the music of these United States are intriguing to ponder. First, does abstraction continue to guide us in uniting the words of and music? Have the Germanic traditions of the abstract enhanced in coming to us by way of the well-known English devotion to them, taken full possession of our educational and creative endeavors in music? Is there any evidence of a drift away from the general assumption in music that music, to merit comparison with the best, must be abstract? Does popular music, either in tendencies or intrinsic characteristics, offer any hope of relief from the inquiries in the usages of serious music? Can our American leanings in the big business of the concert system come to any good end? Finally, will the American genius for finally will the American genius for perverting a spark of individual imagination into a commodity for nationwide distribution permit us uh, ever to ever to hope for a significant evolution in American music? These questions suggest a few of the dri- These questions suggest a few of the drives. There are others. Uh, from dawn to sonata, the reverberation of words and music has come down through the ages, and the reverberation, uh, and the reverberation truth compels us to add is in inverse proportion to the to word integrity. Hang on. Sorry, what is this sentence saying? The reverberation of words and music has come down through the ages, and reverberation, truth compels us to add, is in inverse proportion to word integrity. So, okay, I get what this is saying. So it's basically, I think he's saying here that like we care more about like the things that we're told over and over again about like these kind of old like fundamental concepts in like music theory, that we forget to question the actual like validity or truth to any of that. I think that's what he's trying to say there. Or everything, yeah, it's just this was this has many big words in it. And yeah, and I'm just like a little guy who's trying to understand it all. I mean, I do already know a lot of like microtonal music theory, but obviously, like Partch is like the one of the guys for this, so I think I can still get a lot out of this book. It's just if I can actually like parse what he's saying, if I can parse it. But hi Thomas. You guys want a tortoise break? I think we can take a tortoise break. Let me just bookmark. Oh, he's going over to lettuce. Are you hungry? Grab a blankets. Quick, buddy. There we go. Okay, we got the tortoise. So this is Tommy. So very cold. Drag a blanket. Yeah. Oh my goodness. I put some lettuce for him on the floor. He ate some of it, but then went over to the corner. And now he's back roaming about, so I decided to show him to the camera. Yeah, he just wanders around the house. We have two tortoises, but uh, but Tommy is male and then the other one is female, so we can't both have them in the terrarium at the same time. So we usually just let one roam around the house, and we'll like leave out like lettuce. Uh, and he wandered into my room. They really like exploring and wandering. Here, I'll see if he wants to read any of it. All right. You want to read? I was very interested in the words. I don't think he can read though. He's a Russian tortoise, so I think he can only read Russian. And since this is in English, it's just unintelligible to him. Okay. Want to go back down? Go enjoy some lettuce. Alright, back to reading. I don't need my headphones. Alright. Alright. Where was I? Oh, right, I just got past the wordiest sentence in the world. Composers since the sun up of history have been fascinated by words. They have taken proprietary possession of them. In recent centuries, have spirited them into an ambivalent hideout called musical form. Other composers and philosophers have used every instrument of argument and demonstration at their command to succor the victim. Both kidnappers and rescuers did, can, and do commit humdrum musical trivialities. Tonal tedium waves the flag of no one idea, but only the rescuers argue. Argument, aside from the occasional pot shot, is abjured by the great majority, the practitioners of independent music, who might or might not have involved themselves with kidnapped words. Being the faction de jure, and having been the faction de jure for at least 1,000 years, this is natural. There is perhaps nothing that will instill confidence so thoroughly as being right for 1,000 years. So I think it's talking about like who basically gets a say in like what we talk about in music and the concepts and like basically the coinage of words and I don't know. As Farcical, Farcical, as it's farcical to, it's Farcical, Farcical. Let me look that up. I've never seen that word before. Farci. Let's hear it. What is this word?
Farcical.
Oh wait, my headphones aren't even plugged in. What is this word?
Farcical.
Farcical. It's like a bicycle that's far away. As its farcical worst, the attitude. At its farcical worst, the attitude of this great majority, wandering the gamu of abstraction from variations to sonata, has a dead end, holier than thou nuance of immaculate conception. but even at its best, it suggests an antithesis, a polarity of two ideations. These music philosophy concepts, the ages-old Greek sublimation of a thoroughly immaculate conception, and the probably equally ancient but conveniently designated ano domini negation of immediate values in transcendent purity are and will undoubtedly remain contradictory to a fare ye well. The pure counterpart of this situation in painting incites D.H. Lawrence to a violent protest, which, although one might wish that it could be made with some mellowing reservation, still needs to be said. Oh, purify yourselves. Ye who would not know the aesthetic ecstasy he calls in mockery, purify yourselves of all base hankerings for a tale that is told in mockery. Wait, no, that is told. Sorry, I lost my. For a tale that is told, and of all low lust for likenesses. Purify yourselves and know the one supreme way, the way of significant form. I am the revelation and the way. I am significant form, and my utterable name is reality. Lo, I am form, and I am pure. Behold, I am pure form. I am the revelation of spiritual life, moving behind the veil. The jeer in biblical tone ends with the straight statement, I find myself equally mystified by the cant phrase, significant form and pure form. They are as mysterious to me as the cross and the blood of the Lamb. Okay. No clue what that's saying at all. I need like some annotations to like decipher some of this. It's still talking about kind of like his distaste for the musical institution. What is the next chapter? I just want to see if I can. Okay. Okay, it's probably in part two. I think part one was chapter one and chapter two, and that one was more just like his distaste for like the musical institution in academia. All right. Chapter 3. I'm just gonna skip to chapter 3. I wasn't done with chapter 2. There was still a ton left. Yeah, lots of rhetorical language. It's quite the dense read. I'll probably go back and like reread this not aloud so I can like better like internalize what it's saying. I might also. What are you doing? Okay. Not getting into any trouble now. He's just like rustling through some wreath left over from Christmas. Alright. Chapter 3, Definitions Pertaining to Intonation. To clear the atmosphere, the definitions in this chapter, which are given as an aid in studying the monophonic ideas on intonation and to establish a degree of tonicity for the statement of those ideas, may be examined curiously at first without undue concern if a given definition is not fully grasped at once. Each idea will be carefully scrutinized over the course of the work. Wherever the reader encounters an unusual term, he may refer back to these definitions if the specific meaning is obscure. A writer on theory must make a rough guess as to how much knowledge of the subject is possessed by the majority of those he hopes to interest. And he starts from this guess. Okay, now I'm finally like better understanding what's going on here. So I think he's like talking about how a very tricky part of like explaining theory and kind of anything music related in general is how much knowledge the like audience has, or like the person on the like learning end has, and kind of like what assumptions you have to make. And yeah, okay, here I'll continue. If the guess is wrong, an interested reader finds that the starting point is beyond his understanding. He only has to skip the definitions, referring to them later as questions arise, which they may elucidate, and perhaps again after finishing the balance of the work. Wait, I did not get that sentence. Hang on. Some of these sentences are really long. I don't know when they're going to end. Okay. If the guess is wrong, an interested reader finds the starting point is beyond his understanding. He only has to skip the definition, is referring to them later as questions arise, which they may elucidate, and perhaps again after finishing the balance of the work. Whatever rewards the reader gains may entail great labor, and the course taken to them may try his patience. But if he has seized the initiative in wondering about the problems of intonation and has come this far, he has done his part. The rest is up to the book. From here to the end of the volume, ratios appear frequently. In the original manuscript, the two numbers of each ratio are shown one above the other, and this form is significant to the exposition in certain cases, and the over-number and the under-number frequently having connotations of a very specific nature, as will be seen. The exigencies, that's another word that I do not know. I feel like Google is gonna, the more words I Google from this book, the more Google is gonna realize what book I'm reading. I don't know. Exigency. So, exigencies. Oh wait, I did not have.
Exigency.
Yeah, there. I need to remember to unmute my desktop audio while I play the mystery words. Okay, where was I? The exigencies of typesetting, however, made it difficult to preserve this form where ratios occur in the text. Both numbers of a ratio appear in the same line. Therefore, the numbers preceding the diagonal will be considered over, and the numbers following the diagonal will be considered under. In the diagrams, the two numbers are always shown one above the other, so the over and the under connotations, if applicable, are obvious. Yeah, finally getting into some ratios. One over one, monophony, the unison, unity, the prime unity The generating concept from which the expanded system of music here presented takes its name. C. Monophony. Okay, that's a long footnote. I'm not gonna go there. 2/1. The octave. This is a symbol. This symbol is used throughout. Is used throughout without translation into conventional nomenclature. C octave. 3/2. The just perfect fifth. 4/3. The just perfect fourth. 5/4. The just major third. 6/5. The just minor third. 7/6. The septimal minor third. 5/3. The just major sixth. 8/5. The just minor sixth. 12/7. The septimal major sixth. 9/8. The large just whole tone or major second. 10/9. The small just whole tone or major second. This ratio and the ratio above are confounded in tempered theory. 8/7. The septimal major second. 16/9. The small just minor seventh. 9/5. The large just minor seventh. This ratio and the ratio above are confounded in tempered theory. 7/4. The septimal minor seventh. 16/15. The large just semitone or minor seconds. 25/24. The small just semitone or minor second. This ratio and the ratio above are confounded in tempered theory. It's just going to be a lot of ratios. Okay, almost done. 15/8. The small just major seventh. 48/25. The large just major seventh. Really? I don't ever see 48/25 used. I assumed that like something like what 27/14, which is like your super major seventh, or your kind of like septimal major seventh, or as this book would probably call it. I assumed that would probably be in there. Not something like 48/25, which doesn't appear in many chords. Like the whole things with major, like, I get like listing, the reason for listing like 25/24 is that it's because it's like more obvious that's more of a melodic ratio. I don't know. We'll probably talk about it, but I guess. Okay, whatever. I'll just go back to seeing the thing here. 48/25. The large just major seventh. This ratio and the ratio above are confounded in tempered theory. 45/32. And 64/45 are generally considered to be the just tritones. 7/5 and 10/7, the septimal tritones. 1/1-392. The G which is in the scale of A at about 440 cycles. 1/1-392. I'm guessing this is like 392 hertz. Is simply a starting point for pitch measurement above and below, such as middle C. 7 white 5 black is a term to denote the key or digital pattern of all present day popular keyboard instruments. Arithmetical proportion, an ancient principle of scale structure by which a sounding body is divided into a number of exactly equal parts, and a scale constructed from the resulting relationships or ratios. This does not produce equal scale steps. The arithmetical portion has been seized upon by some theorists in the ancient substantiation of minor tonality since starting with the one part gives the highest tone, it results in a series of tones in the exact reverse of a fundamental in its series in partials, down to an arbitrary low tone determined by the number of equal parts used. The arithmetical proportion may be considered as a demonstration of utonality. Okay, so that's just a complicated way of like a subharmonic series, or like a subharmonic series segment, or a like undertone series segment, or something like that. Beats, a phenomenon of alternate strengthening and lessening of tone produced by a very narrow interval in a simultaneous sounding, or by out of tuneness in that simultaneously sounding interval of an intended interval as a small number proportion, as a very narrow interval approaches the unison, or as an out of tune interval approaches a small number proportion, the beats become slower. Sense, a system devised by Alexander J. Ellis for quickly determining the width of a musical interval. A cent is a 100th part of one of the 12 equal the 12 equal intervals between degrees in a 2/1 between. Why am I having such a hard time reading this? A cent is the 100th of a part of one of the 12 equal intervals between degrees in a 2/1 of equal temperament. Therefore, 1200 cents to the octave. Okay, yeah. Chromelodic, chromelodion. Okay, that's a new word. One of the monophonic. It's an instrument. One of the monophonic instruments, the one more frequently used today, is a 6-octave harmonium. I'm just gonna replace 2/1 with octave because it's easier to say than like 6-2/1. I think this book said that, yeah, in the start it said, or actually just early on the page it said that yeah, it's gonna say 2/1 in the place of octave. Even though I prefer just saying octave, especially in places where it makes more sense, like that hyphenated part. Okay. I checked the time, and I'm glad to see that it has in fact been like nearly an hour, because it's felt very long. And I don't know if I'm just going insane or not. Oh, this is... Okay, there are a lot of definitions. There are a lot of like words to define here. Forgot how tricky reading is. Not like tricky to read, but just tricky to like keep your place and stuff like that. When do I plan to stop? I'll probably stop if it's like 50. I mean, I technically have like a hard stop in 30 minutes at 7:30 p.m. I don't know. I said in the description that I might switch to some ear training. But I might just pause here for now. My brain is hurting already. I know that's probably a bad sign. But this is a very dense read. Yeah. I think I'll switch over to some ear training for a bit. Maybe I could read just intonation primer. I don't know. Yeah, it is probably worth it to read. Yeah, yeah, it is a lot of very professional language. Okay. What do you think we should ear train with? Commenter. Wrong answer. 12 plus 10, that's the right answer. Yeah, this cord is kind of in the way, if I can. Okay, this is. Is there a way you can get Oh, I was also muted. Oops. Oops. My bad. That's kind of funny though. Alright, whatever. I got a flawless run, let's go. But this bug happens because we have the same exact score, so it's highlighting Tristan Bay's name, even though this was the record that was just, or this was the run that was just added. I'm still in 7th place, which is kind of awesome. I've gotten 3 flawless runs before, I think. Maybe I've gotten another slow one. Have I? No, I think this is my only. Wait. No, Oh, I've gotten 4 so far. That's cool. Yeah. I've also gotten 2 flawless runs on 31 Udo. One with this 13, and then one with this 13. This is also me, by the way. This was just the day that I reacted to Ground Fault's album. Ah, I had a feeling it was going to be that. I just didn't. It sounded kind of 30 to me. Hi, Gordon. I read this before a bit, though it's a very dense read. No, I did not get. I did not get this far. I like skipped ahead a bit because the first was just him talking a lot. Oh, Gordon, I just got another no mistake run on 22 Edo. Where is it? Right here. Wait, no, right there. It was slow because I wasn't going for speed. But yeah, is this finally back up and running? So, Gordon Weary, I was actually going to ask you something, and now I know I don't have to, like, stay up absurdly late to do it. You mentioned that the person who runs this is on the Facebook tuning group. I'm not on Facebook, so I can't ask this, but can you ask the person on the Facebook group to fix the 37 Edo thing? Because it doesn't work for me, and this one is really fun to ear train, and I've improved a lot since this one, so I'll probably be able to like do pretty well on this. I've just ever since it's just changed over to hands, eyes, ears fun instead of chord book, it hasn't been working. Thank you. That would yeah. I just really want this back. Also, if you could like ask for 14 Edo, uh, I'm just gonna suggest this one more time. Uh, Well, 37 Edo is literally the only one broken, which is really weird. It's like literally every single other one works. It's just 37 that's broken for some reason. Yeah, I can differentiate between the 2/5 and 37 because actually, here, let me. 1/5 is a lot better than the other. They're still like it's still kind of dual fifth. Could see here. This one is clearly better, the sharper one, and then this one is a flatter fifth. This is actually flatter than a 7/8 fifth. So it's kind of dual fifth, but kind of also not. This one is like kind of twice as bad as the other one, which isn't. It's like slightly less than twice as bad. But I think, yeah, I am able to. It's not traffic. It's definitely not traffic. This one is very much underdone compared to the rest. Most of the runs are actually just me, you could see. Almost all of them, actually. So you could imagine how devastated I was when I discovered it wasn't working on the new URL. Yeah, 37 is just very fun because it's still kind of around the same size as 31 with the number of intervals, but it's just a very fun bag of intervals. You get this like uh, this near exact 13 over 11 ultra major third. You get like still a very good 5 over 4. You still get like a neutral third, but you also get something that's like a semi fourth leaning subminor thing. I guess it's not too semi fourth leaning, but this is like a semi fourth for the more closer to the 70 to fourth thing. The fourth that's kind of the dual fourth or the worst fourth. And then also in the tritone region, just look at this. Mwah, chef's kiss. Same thing kind of for 35 Ito, where it just gets like 11 over 8 and 7 over 5, and then also because they're just the octave complements, 10 over 7 and 16 over 11, all very accurate and buzzy. 35 actually gets the two of these very good. 35 is so cool for like a ton of reasons. I don't want to start composing in that. I was actually sad that Straw didn't win Tuning of the Month Club. Not because necessarily like I was like bummed about Straw losing. Like I'm fine with 37. It's just that I also want to be nominating 35 Ito because I'm realizing how awesome it is. It's a lot more than just 7 Ito plus 5 Ito. But I do want to try to nominate Straw until it wins. So I'm gonna have to wait for like at least 2 months to nominate 35. All right. Yeah. So the cool thing about Straw, I know. Hang on. What's the video that I commented on? Uh. Also, I'm wondering, where does stale fleas come from? So this video I commented Gordon Harry on because he had a lot of hair here. Usually I'm used to your more like shaved. Uh, but yeah, you're like very good at piano. Oh well, I just commented it yesterday, so that's fine. Yay, Gordon Wary. Yeah, this is 13 years ago, back in 2011. Yeah, but you're very good at piano, so I wonder how you would do with like Straw on like the keyboard, because that's where it excels, just on a Halberstadt keyboard. I don't know if you saw the video, but like, because I made like a little video on. Ooh, are you gonna do a right? Are you back from your parents? I miss 37 so much. Whatever, I can try 72. Oh yeah, I got some insane runs on this. Oh, Romeo's has toppled Tristan Bay. Wow. Oh my goodness, by a lot. What is that time? That time difference is huge. You have to like rapid fire answer perfect for that. That's crazy. How do you rapid fire perfectly answer for 72 Ito? Like this is literally like one guess every 3 seconds. Less than that even. And getting him all right, because that's 9 tries. Well, yeah, I mean, 24 Ito is like not great on a regular keyboard. Straw, in my opinion, is better made for the Halberstadt keyboard than 24 Ito is because to get your minor and major intervals in 24, you kind of have to use like like tritones and minor sixths, which aren't like well optimized on the white keys. Uh, so it's kind of awkward to play. But straw is like great because you just do your neutral chord shapes, which are like stacks of fifths, on for the 24 Uto, and that's a lot easier to just like do on the white keys. And like your kind of diatonics or nice tones are laid out very nicely just on every other white key. I wonder if I should move this over to the other side because I'm facing this way. Uh, is that like either super major or neutral? I'm gonna guess. Wait, what? Okay, that's fake. Actually, I can believe that a little bit. I can understand that. Ugh. Um. What? That's crazy. That's crazy. Oh my goodness. Ah, I just did that. That is crazy. Oh my goodness. That's insane. Wow. I guess it might not be as hard as I thought. I did get pretty lucky with the intervals, though. Admittedly. I feel like I got a lot of 200 cent things. I don't know. I'll have to go back and rewatch that. That's crazy. I almost beat Tristan's score. That's funny. Ah, moving Tristan down to third place would be funny because he was like bragging about having first for so long. Then Romeo comes in and absolutely demolishes it, getting under 4 points. Like nobody even has like a 4x. It's just a jump from 5.x to 3.x. Okay, this is a more accurate depiction of. Just so you guys don't think I'm overpowered. Okay, there's the horrible run. That fixes it. Balance has been restored. Wow, I'm glad you were here to see that, Gordon Wary. Because that was insane. Third place. Oh my goodness. Absolutely demolishing my previous best. I mean, I have gotten 10 before, one time. But it was like slower. It's just like a 31. Wait, I have the second fastest time. I don't think I'm gonna beat Romeo's, because that would be like crazy fast. Rigged. Um, yeah, you see with that mistake like right there. I can't just rely on buzziness for that. Da-da. Where is the thing I'm looking for? Ah! Oh, that was just a symmetrical tritone, I guess. Okay, there. Still another under a minute run, but we're not gonna see lightning strike twice. It weirds me out because I feel like whenever I come back after not ear training for a while, I just am like infinitely better than I was before for like no reason. Like it's weird. How will I do? I wonder if I'll be able to get better than that. Uh, oh, rigged. Come on. Okay. Okay. I need to watch out because the way I do sevenths right now really isn't good. Because I should just listen for size more. So then I end up mistaking 9/5s for 7/4 sometimes if it has a really good 7/4 or a really good 9/5. Oh my goodness. Doing horrible. This is horrendous. Unacceptable. Triple bull and Pierce. It's the funniest scoreboard ever. Only 3 people. I need to get Unk to run this. Where is time to rise and rise? Money. And then wow. There we go. We need to get more people running triple bull and Pierce. No clue. That's like a... No, completely wrong. Um... What even is this? I can't I can't comprehend this. Okay, I think I might have to go soon. I'll do one more on 31. Ah, okay. Okay. This is not a very good run. This is so rigged. Okay. I think that's gonna do it for this stream. Bye, Gordon Wary. Bye, Commenter. See ya.